Everybody wants that lift, but sis, half the internet's advice will have you wasting your time and burning out your thighs. What's good, Fit Fam? It's your girl Cori here, and the question that I get all the time is why aren't my glutes growing? Now, you've probably tried all the online workouts, done the hip thrusts, and still the growth is, well, slow AF. I got you. So, everybody thinks that it's the exercise selection that's going to lead to more glute growth. So, more squats, more volume, different bands. Those things matter. But what if the real problem is something that you're not doing or doing 23 hours of your day? I'm going to tell you the real, no sugar added truth about the three hidden reasons that your glutes are stuck and what you can do about it today. All right, so let's get into hidden reason number one, and that is going to be the glute amnesia problem. So, the biggest mistake is that your glutes literally aren't firing when you're training them. So, you can do all the hip thrusts, you can do all the donkey kicks, you can do all the pulses, all you want to, but your glutes are asleep at the wheel. They've got glute amnesia. The culprit is sitting. Most of us spend a large portion of our day sitting. We spend hours glued to a chair or a couch, shortening our hip flexors and basically telling our glutes to take a permanent vacation. Well, if that's what you were told, that's probably what you would do too, right? So the fix for it is activation. Activation is going to be big. You need a warm up that actually warms your glutes up, tells them, all right, wake up, we're finna do some work here. And before you touch any type of weights, any type of resistance bands, you must wake up those sleepy glute muscles. So think clamshells, bandit side steps, and single leg glute bridges. I'm gonna be honest, I hate single leg glute bridges. That is my least favorite exercise, I believe, out of all the exercises that I do. I hate those things. Anyway, activation isn't optional, especially if you want to see those glute gains. It is the prerequisite for the glute growth that you really want to see. Hidden reason number two is the under fueling fiasco. Okay. Now, this right here is hotly debated, but I'm going to tell you from experience that I know this to be true. Growth needs fuel. Bottom line. If you like when you were small, you were a kid and your kids were kids, little babies, in order for them to grow, they had to get fuel. So they had to eat, right? Okay, same thing with the glutes. You can lift as heavy as you want to all day long, but your muscles literally cannot build new tissue without the building blocks. So that's where your calories and your protein come into play. So don't fear the food. Don't fear the food, y'all. I see so many people scared to eat enough because they don't want to bulk or to gain fat. But here's the tea, you can't build a bigger booty in a massive calorie deficit. Like that just is not going to happen. I don't care who told you that, they didn't tell you the truth. You need to be in a slight calorie surplus and getting enough protein plus a little bit more to support muscle repair and muscle growth. So, in short, intermittent fasting might be great for your weight loss goals, but if booty gains are the goal, you got to eat. Then we're going to really dip into our protein power. Okay, ladies, we are not going to start to bulk when we take in protein powders just for the sake of bulking. That's not what's going to happen. You know, you have to take in massive amounts of protein and do massive heavy lifting in order to bulk. And I know that that is a huge fear amongst people that I've worked with, some of my clients, some of my family members that I've helped out, friends. I hear it all the time. I don't want to bulk. Well, the things that you would have to do in order to bulk, you're not doing them, so don't worry about that. Your body needs roughly zero point 0.8 grams to a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you are 160 pounds, 165 pounds like myself, you roughly need about 160 to 165 grams of protein every single day in order to maximize that muscle growth. Take in just a little bit more because that helps for, wow, okay, y'all. So that helps to get my results in just a little bit faster. Because if you're skipping that, you are building a sandcastle with no water. I'm just saying, y'all. Hidden reason number three, the recovery fail. All right. So stress and sleep, lack of sleep and excess stress are both game killers. So your muscle fibers tear in the gym a little bit. And before you freak out, just know that this is completely normal. It happens to everybody. And then they rebuild bigger and stronger while you asleep. Right? So if you're only getting 4 to 6 hours of sleep, you are shortchanging your gains. This is where the magic happens. I always say on my podcast that the body does its best work when it is at rest. Be sure that you are recovering properly. So immediately after your workout, think your cool downs, stretching within like the last 5 to 10 minutes of your workout. Make that your cool down. That's your recovery. Replenish your electrolytes. So hydration, hydration, hydration. Like I have a bad habit sometimes of, especially if I'm going extra hard and I'm feeling myself, I will forget to sip water during my workout, but it's okay. I make up for it afterwards and I drink tons and tons of water as well as sports drinks because let's be clear, water alone, unless it is enhanced water, is not going to replenish your electrolytes because it doesn't contain electrolytes. And a nutrient dense meal. I'm thinking heavy on your protein and carbs, both within 2 hours of the workout. Usually, immediately after my workout, my recovery drink is a protein shake with a banana. A banana is always in there. So that's going to be my carbs and my protein at the same time. Next up, we know stress is a killer for so many things, but for glutes, chronic stress, it spikes your cortisol, which is your stress hormone. And high cortisol is a catabolic, meaning that it breaks down muscle tissue for energy. And your gains are literally being eaten up by your stress. So if stress is an issue for you, and honestly, who isn't stressed these days? But try some deep breathing exercises like box breathing or the Take Five method. I talk about that a lot on my podcast as well. Those are two methods that I try, and they are absolutely amazing. And finally, we're going to talk a little bit about the wellness connection. So, this is why I talk about mental health and healing so much because they are so connected. Anxiety and depression are very real for many, and they impact your physical body. So, if your mental cup is empty, then your gains will be too. So, prioritize rest, de stressing, and making sure that your mental health are all non negotiable parts of your fitness journey. Because let's be honest, if you're feeling loads of anxiety or if you're struggling with depression, the last thing you feel like doing or have the energy for is to work out in the first place. Trust me, I have been there, so I can completely relate. So, the bottom line is that it is not just about the weight on the bar, it's about the mind muscle connection, fueling your body like the powerhouse that it already is, and recovering like a champ if you want to really see those gains. Your action plan start today, right? Pick one activation drill before your workout. And then add one extra source of protein to your meals and then set up a sleep deadline tonight. For me, I have a sleep deadline on my phone every single night at 10 p.m. on the nose. My phone goes black and white. It's so weird to everybody because, like, my kids have been holding my phone when it's about 10 o'clock and they're like, Mom, why is your phone black and white? Just because my phone is telling me, girl, go to bed. I'm just saying, do whatever you need to do. But now, what I need you to do for me is drop a comment and let me know which of these three hidden issues you're going to tackle first. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the Melanin Wellness Podcast for more real talk about fitness, travel, and healing. I'm always rooting for you to win. And I actually have attached a link to a glute activation short that I created, and you can get those glute activation exercise ideas from there if you like. Until next time, stay healthy, stay strong, and keep those lashes on, period.